Hi everyone, my name is Allison and I'm going to be telling you a little bit about REFORMA, which is the association that I chose. So I'm going to talk a little about the history and purpose, membership and benefits, resources and publications, initiatives, issues, trends, and other miscellaneous items, and some takeaways. I'll talk first a little bit about REFORMA's history and purpose. So it was established in 1971 as an affiliate of the ALA, and as stated on their website, the goals of REFORMA are to develop Spanish language and Latino-oriented library collections, to recruit bilingual and multicultural library personnel, promote public awareness of libraries and librarianship among Latinos, advocate on behalf of information needs of the Latino community, and act as a liaison to other professional organizations. Currently, there are 20 REFORMA chapters that are active in the country, and these chapters function autonomously, working through their local library systems, state library associations, and local organizations. There is currently a Midwest chapter that is for librarians living and or working in the states of Illinois, Indiana, Minnesota, or Wisconsin. REFORMA also works with several corporate members, such as Penguin Random House Grupo Editorial Novelist, nonprofit organization members, such as Association of Research Libraries, and have over a dozen standing committees, such as an awards committee, education committee, mentoring committee, and more. REFORMA's target membership are bilingual library professionals and support staff, but all interested people are welcome to join. There are several benefits available to members of REFORMA that give them access to member-exclusive newsletter that informs members of latest developments in the organization and in library services to Latinos, an annual publication of an annual membership directory, and programs and workshops that focus on serving Latinos. REFORMA provides activities and resources to their members that include REFORMA press releases, REFORMA newsletter, REFORMA job board, REFORMA President's Report, their strategic plan, and information for libraries and librarians serving Latinos and Spanish-speaking communities. I'll go over some initiatives by REFORMA. The first one that I'll be talking about are awards, grants, and scholarships, which I've listed here, and I'll explain a little bit about each one too. So the first one that I have here is Dr. Arnulfo Di Trejo Librarian of the Year Award, which is named after the founding president of REFORMA. This award recognizes a librarian who has distinguished themselves in the field of librarianship, promoted and advocated services to Spanish-speaking and Latino communities, and has made outstanding contributions to REFORMA. The awardee receives a $500 stipend, free registration to the next REFORMA conference, and a commemorative plaque. The second award listed here is the Elizabeth Martinez Lifetime Achievement Award. This award recognizes a librarian who has achieved 20 plus years of significant and lasting contributions to REFORMA and to the Latino and Spanish-speaking communities. The awardee receives a $500 stipend, free registration to the next REFORMA conference, and a commemorative plaque. On your right-hand side, you'll see three images. On the top right is Dr. Arnulfo Di Trejo. On the middle left is Elizabeth Martinez. And at the bottom right, that's Rosa Trevino. The next award is the Pura Belpre Award, which is given to a Latino or Latina writer and illustrator whose work best portrays, affirms, and celebrates the Latino cultural experience in a work of literature for children and youth. The next award is National Book Award, which is REFORMA's National Book Award, and it is presented annually to a Latinx author whose work best portrays the Latinx cultural experience in a work of literature. The next one is the DIA Mini Grants, which grants 5 mini grants of $500 to support DIA programs that celebrate Latinx culture in the month of April. The next one is Noche de Cuentos Mini Grants, which awards 10 mini grants of $500 to support Noche de Cuentos programs between the months of September and December. And the next grant are National Programs, which awards $500 to active chapters and at-large members to support projects or programs that further the mission of REFORMA. The last three on the list are scholarships that are offered by REFORMA. The REFORMA Scholarship is awarded to graduate students pursuing an MLIS who are Spanish speakers or interested in serving Hispanics, Latinos, or the Spanish speaking. The maximum scholarship amount is $1,500. The Rosa Treviño Memorial Scholarship is for those pursuing a degree in children's or young adult librarianship. And the JCLC Stage Scholarship supports one student who is pursuing a graduate degree in master's or a PhD in library and information science. The awardee is required to write a 500 to 800 word blog post during their school year that articulates how the award benefited them, among other items that must be posted on the Sage blog and any other location as requested by REFORMA. The second initiative that I wanted to talk about is the REFORMA Mentoring Program. Members can apply to be mentees and connect with an experienced REFORMA mentor that gives mentees advice, guidance, and support from an established library and information professional. Mentees have a 6-month commitment where they must meet with their mentors at least once a month, and this is perfect for REFORMA members that are current library school students or a recent graduate within the last 3 years. The third and final initiative by REFORMA that I wanted to talk about is the REFORMA Children in Crisis Task Force. This was founded in 2014 by Oralia Garza de Cortez and Lucia Gonzalez, and the task force addresses the needs of asylum-seeking children arriving at the border, sending Spanish and bilingual Spanish-English books to the children in shelters and transportation points on both sides of the border. REFORMA has worked with organizations such as Team Brownsville on the Brownsville-Matamoros border, Jewish Family Services, Catholic Charities, and more. Just like ALA and ILA have their conferences every year, REFORMA also has their National REFORMA Conference annually. The National REFORMA Conference is an annual event that is focused on training and networking for those who work in providing library services for Latinos and Spanish-speaking communities. This year's National REFORMA Conference was the 8th annual conference, which was held September 18 to 21 in Long Beach, California. The theme this year was Moving Forward Together, Empowering the Latino Community. REFORMA has also attended other conferences such as ALA's annual conference, so you won't miss them. Next, I've highlighted 2 issues that REFORMA has issued statements for, which are protecting immigrant families and language rights. For protecting immigrant families, REFORMA has a librarian toolkit for responding effectively to anti-immigrant sentiment, which contains book resources and website resources. Their toolkit also has recommendations to enable, encourage, and increase access to the library by the Latino community, and they also have listed best practices for issuing library cards to the Latino community. REFORMA's statement on language rights is that they oppose all legislation that restrict the language rights of Spanish-speaking and all other non-English speaking peoples in the U.S. and oppose all variations of English-only initiatives. REFORMA's missions, development of awards, and scholarships reflect this and their statement to continue advocating for library and information services to Latinos and the Spanish-speaking, and reflects their position on language right that affirms the REFORMA 1985 resolution that opposed the constitutional amendment proclaiming English as the official language. REFORMA has also issued statements about the elimination of the IMLS and more recently the firing of Dr. Carla Hayden, who was the Librarian of Congress. Finally, some takeaways that I want to leave with you, the viewer. REFORMA would be valuable for students and LIS professionals that are passionate about serving and advocating for services, materials, and representing Spanish-speaking, Latino, Hispanic, and immigrant communities within the professional field. My own personal lived experiences and work experiences as a first-generation Mexican-American student who's going into the library field has allowed me to see firsthand the need for more representation and advocating of the Hispanic, Latino, and immigrant Spanish-speaking communities. Although I may not be a member of REFORMA yet, I hope that my current work and studies will continue to help push forward the missions that REFORMA believes in and advocates for, despite not being part of them. That is my goal in becoming a professional and acquiring my MLIS. Thank you for listening to my presentation about the REFORMA Association and what they are and what they stand for, and all information from this PowerPoint is taken from the REFORMA website.